The purpose of today's video is to explain the source of atoms that end up in glucose in plants due to the process of photosynthesis. Therefore, what are plants made out of mostly? We're going to be using some models today, and the key is that black items represent carbon, red items represent oxygen, and white items are represented as hydrogen. This molecule represents a water. It has 2 white hydrogens and 1 red oxygen. This molecule represents carbon dioxide. You see 1 black representing the carbon, 2 reds representing the oxygen. 6 molecules of water and 6 molecules of carbon dioxide will enter into a chemical reaction in plants and result in 2 things. One thing will be a glucose molecule, C6H12O6. We also refer to that as blood sugar. The second item that is produced would be a molecule where 2 oxygens are bonded together, what we call molecular oxygen. There will be 6 of these molecules produced, and then will exit the plant through the leaf. In looking at this glucose molecule, there are a couple of logical things we can figure out. Since water has hydrogen in it, the whites, carbon dioxide does not have hydrogen, no whites, it's fair to assume that all the hydrogens in the glucose molecule were derived originally from water. On the other hand, when we look at the glucose molecule, and if we try to find a carbon source in water, it does not exist. However, the 6 carbon molecules each have the black piece representing carbon. It is fair to assume that all of the carbon in a glucose molecule comes from carbon dioxide. The trick becomes trying to figure out where all these oxygens came from. Our possibilities are all the oxygen in the glucose, and therefore none of the oxygen that is released from a leaf comes from a carbon dioxide molecule. Second possibility is all of the oxygen in a glucose and none of the oxygen that is released from a leaf comes from a water molecule. We really don't know, at least not until some experimentation was done. The experiments used a type of oxygen called heavy oxygen to label either carbon dioxide or water molecules. The end result of that experiment indicated that the oxygen that ends up in a glucose molecule is coming from carbon dioxide, and the oxygen that is released back to the atmosphere originally came from water. This is very important. It is indicating that most sugars, which build most of the body parts, if you will, of the plants, come from carbon dioxide in the air.